Go ahead and call this meeting to order. Would you stand and repeat the pledge with us? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additions or deletions for this evening's meeting? Not, we'll move on. Is there a motion to approve the council and executive session meeting minutes?
I move we approve the council executive session minutes.
Been a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
There's been a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Reports. Councilman Moulton.
But not much, I guess.
Councilwoman Fons.
I have nothing.
Councilman Kincaid. I was about to spit that out. I was going to call you another name, but I didn't think it was very nice.
Just that I attended WHAM last week and enjoyed the sessions. I attended it's like a nuts and bolts for small town government and ethics and things like that. It's very interesting, the speakers. And then also on grant writing and loans. Really like that. That's kind of something I'm very interested in anyway. So, and then Deer Creek Days, I just wanted to say something short on that. It seems like it was a success. From what I could see, we had a lot more people than last year down there. And our family went down, and we really had a good time with all the different venues. And the entertainment venues were great, all the bands and stuff. I thought everyone we listened to were really good, and it seemed like everybody's having a good time. I'm sure the chief can speak better on that than me, but I seemed like everybody was just pretty much in line and having a good time, so I don't know about that.
Councilwoman Nunn.
Of course. I attended the fire department open house. I wasn't sure how much of a challenge it would be to get my husband to leave with all those interesting pieces of equipment that the fire department has down there. It was a successful recruiting opportunity for new volunteers, and I thank the firemen for cooking an excellent hamburger. Also, I enjoyed Deer Creek Day celebration. The mayor welcomed the committee, standing by the town hall with a beautiful flag displayed by the fire department. Wendy Prather, I hope I've said that right, sang a very moving rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. One of the things I most enjoyed about the celebration was seeing the young families enjoying time with their children. I think we owe a big thank you to Christy Grant and her dedicated committee who worked very hard to make this a successful celebration for our town.
Tammy's not here, but Kelly's taking her place. Anything?
Kinda, not for Tim, for me.
Okay.
Attended WHAM in Sheridan, it was very good. And other than that, got ready to turn into new fiscal year, which I'm happy about, and nothing else at this time.
Public Works, Randy.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Crew's been busy, the garbage pickup. We had a water leak on West Deer Street. We got that repaired. Street sweeping, working in the parks, mowing weeds, and water meter pit upgrades. I'd like to thank my crew for all the hard work over Deer Creek Days. They busted their butt, and all week long getting everything ready and all the barricades up and the detour signs and everything, and keeping the town clean and picking up garbage every morning at 6 in the morning, and I'd like to thank for that. The pipe and equipment's been moved in today. They're bringing in more tomorrow, so the project should start sometime this week on the north end infrastructure. So just to let you know what's going on there. Your signs, Councilman Nunn, are ordered them Wednesday. Hopefully I'll see them this week and we'll get them up to children at play signs.
Good, so I'll see him next week?
I'm hoping I'll have them this week.
Thank you.
Yep. That's all I have.
Building department, we only have 3 new permits since the last meeting. And the Danaher trailer court, there's 5 units left sitting there. The town was nice enough to waive the move-out fee permit and the $5,000 bonding for cleaning up and damages, which I regret doing now. There is a ton of trash left down there, and somewhat disheartens me for what was done by the town to give a grace to a lot of people, then to be taken advantage of like that. Other than that, we got 3 new houses being started. The soonest construction will be on 930 Grove Street, and we're looking at a little bit of property improvement out at the Metal Art subdivision coming soon. That's it.
Scott, a question, please. You do have a design for the improvement of the grounds of the town hall, correct?
Say that again?
You have a design for the improvements of the grounds around the town hall. We've got the waterway.
CEPI is doing that.
They're doing that. Will we be able to see that? Will we be able to see that design soon?
I think it's gonna come on a proposal, right? Is that what they're gonna do? Is
Yeah.
it has to be-
Yeah, we can't move on anything until budget time and go to bids, but yeah, we can show you the design.
I think that'd be really interesting to see. Thank you.
I have a question too, Scott. Why is the town, why did they, or I don't understand why the town would waive a fee for the cleanup over there. Why wouldn't the
Well-
landowners do the cleanup?
A lot of how it works is there's a moving permit fee price. Then there's a bonding fee that they're supposed to post a bond. I thought, probably more me than anybody in the town, was they're already going through a little bit of hardship, short term, thought we'd be considerate and waive that for actually the 9 units that moved out of there, actually. And so I just feel that it was a bad decision on my part. I should have kept the bond there, but now I know for in the future.
Well, driving by there, it looks like they left everything that they didn't want.
Exactly. I mean, and you know, bad thing about it is, not the bad thing, every one of those individuals came in and talked to me about it. I made myself very clear on what we were doing and what we expected, and did not see that.
Well, thank you for trying to offer some kindness to those people who are under kind of stress.
Thank you.
So is the town's responsible for cleaning that up then?
No,
or-
No,
property owners are.
Property, okay.
So we have to get back,
yes.
gotta get back on them and get over it.
I think that-
So the property owners now,
Yeah, which Hummer knew that there's gonna be a lot there. There's still gonna be, I think there's 4 units that will be left there for his responsibility also.
And they're gonna be pulling all that fence and everything down, and they gotta
Yeah.
redo all the services in there, so they'll be cleaning the whole lot,
Right, there'll be,
whole section anyway, so.
but the idea of it was.
Yeah.
Well, what are the 3 houses? You said 930 Grove.
But 930 Grove, 618 South, 5th, then lot 91, 92 on Grove. No addresses on here.
Thanks.
That's all the questions for, well, I don't want to move on and have somebody go, wait a minute. If you're still wanting to grill Scott, go at it. Police Department, Chief Thiel.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Reference Deer Creek Days, I'd like to thank my staff for being flexible with their schedule so we could have extra staff out during the evening hours. The Public Works group, they did an awesome job working with us to ensure that the barricades were up and had roads closed down when we needed to have them closed down. Sheriff Becker helped out by providing some detention deputies for us in the evenings in case we needed to make transports. Which did come into play Saturday night. We did have 2 arrests related to minors in possession of alcoholic beverages. We also handled a minor traffic collision over by Town Park related to traffic and parking and leaving at the same time and trying to occupy the same space, but it was minor in nature. Other than that, we did a lot of time of being out and being visible and interacting, and I think it was a success as well. And That's all I have. Thank you.
I'd just like to thank our police department and Public Works for all the time and effort you guys put in for this weekend, and the Deer Creek Days Committee and all the volunteers that did a good job putting on this event this weekend. It went out, I think it went fairly well. We will move on to items from the floor. Is there any items from the floor?
Rex gave me about 5 minutes before we got here. So,
Okay, you have to state
I
your
have-
name.
Kim Lundgren, Lungren. Anything else you want to know?
No,
Nope.
no,
I got two
just have to
questions.
Just have to have your name
All right.
on the record.
I have one question. When you're talking about the improvements to the town hall, what exactly are you talking about doing around the grounds? And how much is the cost for improvements?
Go ahead.
We're removing all the rock and dropping down this dirt because we're getting a lot of water infiltrate. Excuse me, can't say it. Leaking into the building.
Okay,
And this concrete and all that's gonna be dropped down. This other approach in here is gonna be covered and used as storage, because we have no storage for records. There's a
Oh, and-
entrance and there's another entrance right
so
there.
that's inside the building?
No, everything's outside,
Okay,
so it's all gonna be outside. We're gonna
Oh,
close that part.
Okay,
This will
all right.
stay open. And the tree will stay, but we're gonna drop that grass down because we're getting water leaking into the building. That's our plan.
my concern is, I've walked for a year and a half, the whole summer last year. Your sprinkler system leaked into the street.
We also have, I noticed out there the other day, especially with the rain and the water with, down onto the deal, is the downspout drain has come apart right in the corner of that. upper
Oh, has it?
level.
I haven't noticed that.
I noticed that.
Check that.
I walked
night.
for the whole,
Mhm.
and that was, you know,
Things are
it's
gonna
like
get, things are all gonna get redone out
leaking,
here.
and I thought it was the sprinkler system. And it's like,
Not sure what would it be,
It-
it is, but it's all gonna get looked at.
it was when it was dry. So, I mean, it's, your sprinkler system is leaking.
Could have
So-
its own valve that's leaking through and letting its own leak,
Right.
it's hard to say.
And my other question is there anything that is coming up with the fire department as far as changes? The
There-
chief?
There is we have, the attorneys right now are looking at the ordinances on that possible change to realign our ordinance on how the fire department would be run. And
So it's
I
still
had-
up in the air? As
yes,
far
it's
as
still up in the air.
the chief?
That has not been moving fast by any means. We're taking our time to move with that. I've had several good meetings with the current chief over there discussing about what we're doing, and I will continue to have a line of communications with him.
Are you considering keeping the chief in
Depends on-
place?
Depends on who, if he wants to apply for the job. He's interested in one of the full-time jobs if we go that direction.
Are you keeping the officers, or, I mean, or
There'll have to be,
What-
there'll have to be officers, Kim, whether one
what
of them or two of
changes
them
are
are
we
paid.
looking at? as far as-
Possibly looking at, depends on if the rest of the budget passes, we could hire as many as one officer, as a chief, and one of the 6 firefighters as a captain, and the rest of them as paid certified firefighters. You have to realize that all of our volunteer firefighters are paid now. A lot of people don't realize it.
Minimally.
Well, it's a lot more than what it used to be, and if we paid the same thing that Douglas pays theirs, Douglas is almost a full-time paid fire department.
And they're being paid how much a month?
Averages anywhere, depends on how many times you come, they average anywhere from $5, $6 up to five to $800 a month. Or
Depending
what,
upon how many calls they
depending on
respond
the
to.
calls, and the number of calls have been, they were expecting it to happen in the end of before the end of last month, they were already over 100 calls for the year. So, and our biggest problem right now is daytime response, and the response times are almost, it's just getting where we can't get any volunteerism to show up for daytime response for firefighting.
You and I both know the situation, so
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of concerned with the
Yeah, we're trying to make it a
upcoming-
positive thing to make things work better, to get a better response out and the volunteers that show up, so we get a backup to the ones going out right off if we get paid firefighters there for a quicker response. And it's not just for town, it's for Western if we get them hired, they will respond in total Western Converse County.
We know how much cover,
Yeah,
ground
there's
they
a lot
have
to
to
cover.
cover.
Yeah, there's too much to cover.
Have you discussed with the outlining rural departments?
We've talked about it with the rural guys when we've been at
If they're
the FSA
in
meeting.
support of
Yeah, there hasn't
this
been,
change?
I have not taken any, only ones I've taken some battle from are certain firefighters. Because
So
the
you're
officers,
not sure as far as the rural guys, how things are gonna,
we haven't had any, the rural guys, they've been more receptive for us to help push better communication with radios and everything else, and part of them, they don't want the radios because they don't want to talk.
I'm not worried about radios. I'm worried
Well,
about somebody.
yeah, we haven't had,
I'm not
there hasn't been,
I'm worried
hasn't
about
hasn't been
someone
any
gonna show
flack
up to,
at any of the meetings that I've been at.
have you,
We've had several meetings. We had a meeting with all of them earlier this year at the old library over that. And
have you asked the rural department
I've asked
to be
their-
involved?
I've asked their
as
chief
far
and
as
stuff.
meetings?
Depends on when we get around to, like I said, we're not in any hurry. When we get around to changing the ordinance and discussing how we're going to do that, I will probably put a committee together to work on that.
I'm in a hurry. Summer season's coming. Fires are gonna come.
It's coming in a hurry if it dries.
So it's a concern.
It's a very big concern for the fact of
Yep.
what's going to happen, especially with the fuel load out there.
And when you have all these, rural ranches that play a huge part with their trucks, have you considered all that?
Well, we know
Yeah.
very much so.
My
They have
point is-
become more of a first line
Yes,
response
yep,
over what they have been
Yes,
in the
they are.
past.
Yep.
Because of how dispatch is done
Yep.
for them. Now, whether or not they respond, there's a few of them that come from a little further out that respond. Doesn't matter where the call's at, they go.
Yeah.
Cowboy Hildebrand goes everywhere. Part of the rest of them, it depends on what they're doing, whether they get there or not.
yep.
Same
But
thing.
my suggestion is involve them in these meetings. Because there's a huge outline and they have trucks and they respond, and it's not necessarily just Glen Rock Fire Department. There's ranches and they have trucks out there, and they're
They do.
usually the first on the line. And then they call for help. So that's,
Remember, they're page first, and right after their
Yep.
page comes the department pages.
we need a line of communication, I think.
Any other items from the floor?
She asked for a cost on the,
I don't,
This time?
what-
I know who I am.
hold on just a second. I know she asked for a cost outside. I don't remember what we estimated that at, but it goes,
Remember the
it's a
engineers
total bid
estimated what?
process.
For the outside,
Where are we at?
outside the building.
Cost.
The landscaping is right.
whatever we're removing rock and all that.
I think it-
68,000 is right at the landscaping cost.
Right.
On the grounds, irrigation system.
Correct.
Retaining walls.
Yeah, I couldn't remember
Came
what
on
it
new
was.
sidewalk, yeah, I had a feel it was between 60 and 70,000 is what we had planned, but it all goes to bid.
She
Yeah, we forgot to tell her.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
I am Sharon Camp. Everybody knows me. All right. I want to say something. I think this was the best Glen Rock Days that we've had in a long time. We had more kid games, thanks to John and Carrie. That's the first time we've ever had a trolley, and which I think was a great success. I heard lots of wonderful things about that.
Saturday was really great. Sunday was not so great.
Well, it was a little wet Sunday morning. But I'm only going to touch on a few people because there were so many people and it's wonderful. Thank you, Randy, for your crew and Mayor and Council for allowing these people to step up and do a wonderful job. They did a fantastic job. Christy really put it all together for all of us. Each one of us had a job. Mine was the 5K run. And I want to thank Deb Huxtable, because she had the idea of putting a four-wheeler in front of those runners so they would know where to go, and we still had one that got lost. But it was okay. We raised $950 for our food bank, and you all know how passionate I am about the food bank. Okay, well, Julie McCran ran the art show. Rhonda Knowlton did the parade, and John and Carrie did the trolley. Brian Burris did the smash balls and the bouncy houses, and then the New Hope did the games in the park along with Jeff and Karen Marshall. They did the karaoke and all the music. It was awesome. Gary and Janet did the car show, and they had people calling them early saying they didn't want their cars in the mud. So they canceled it, postponed it for another day. It's not canceled, it's just postponed for another day. And I don't blame the car owners. You know, some of those cars are worth a lot of money. So anyway, and then the chief was fantastic, and Officer Steele. They did all the traffic control, no incidences whatsoever. The Sheepherders Rendezvous, those people served breakfast on Sunday morning. And it was good breakfast. And of course, the rec center had their thing going, and the library had their thing going. And then the fire department was at the end of the line, and they gave out the awards for the runners. And we had 38 runners this year. So we did pretty good. That's more than we had last year. Last year we raised about $786, and this year we've raised $950, which is being dedicated to our food bank. And then Sean Lindsay and Darian Laird and Clinton Zimmerly were the ones that gave out the awards. So it really, and there's people I have not even touched on that came forward. There was an amazing crew. We had more kid games than we've had in many years, and it worked beautifully. And I want to thank the fire department also for the flag ceremony, and Bruce and Wendy for singing, and Bruce for his opening address. It was wonderful. Now I'm going to the food bank. I'm asking if the town will help us with the food trucks this year. There are 4 of them a year, and they're $500 a piece. And I don't have to be told tonight, because if you're going to tell me no, you have to do it gently, because you know I have a bad heart. Maybe, I don't know. But I would like you to consider if you would help us get the food trucks in, just the food trucks, if we can have help with that, so that we can get our food bank off the ground. Right now, we're still in paperwork. Holy Toledo, we're still in paperwork. I never realized there was so much, but I've met with them 3 times already, the Food Bank of the Rockies, and we're almost to the final stages. So it's $500 a pop, and it comes 4 times a year. So if we could have that help down the road or whenever, we'd sure appreciate it. Okay?
When's the first one, Sharon, that you're planning on?
Pardon?
When's the first visit for that truck? When's the first one?
It's when the money is there and it can be dedicated.
That's right.
So, and I've raised private funds. We won't talk about how I got the money, but I raised money for the food bank already myself.
Yeah, we won't discuss that.
No, we won't discuss that, but it was fun. But
We're just right at the end of our fiscal year. We start our new fiscal year in a little over a week. So our next council meeting is the second Monday of July, which is...
well, we won't be ready, Bruce.
I know, but if you do that, we'll be in our new fiscal year, and the council can think about that, and out of like
Right.
mayor and council stuff or whatever, we could do something, but we have to wait till we start our new fiscal year.
Right. We're going to have 2 days of pre-registration for people, so that when we do have our opening, we're going to paint the room and clean it up and make shelves and what have you. And once we get that all done, then we'll have a grand opening sometime in July. But we have to get that paperwork finished first, and we're getting there, but it's not done.
Yeah, our first meeting is July 8th, so that's
So
something
it'll be
council
after
can
that.
think about and
Okay, well, I'll come back in
at
July.
the next meeting, so.
Okay, well, thank you, and
bet.
thank you for your time.
Have you got a board going for the food bank yet?
Tomorrow night, we vote our board. So, want to volunteer?
Well, I don't know.
Okay,
What's it pay?
I'll call you. We need all the help we can get, you know.
How many board members are you gonna have?
We have to have 7.
7?
Yep, we have to have 7, and we have to have a director. And the council, when I went to the bathroom, voted me as the liaison. Don't go to the bathroom during a board meeting. But no, I really and truly, when they asked me, I said yes, because I had done it for almost 19 years before. But that was before we had government involvement. It was very simple then. We had fundraisers, we had schools involved, we had companies involved, we had a lot of things, which we've applied for a lot of grants. I even went to the county commissioners, and we're going to do everything we can to make this a success, because it is very much needed in this community.
Do you
So-
have enough board members, or?
No. So, come on down.
What time's your meeting and when?
Tomorrow at 7 at the chamber office. So, on Main Street. I don't know the actual address, I just know how to get there. Remember, I'm old. It's on 4th Street. You know where the old theater is? The old theater door? Okay, we're on the south side, that little office in there. But it'll be interesting, and it'll be fun. There's a lot of things to learn. So whoever's on the board, you'll learn right along with the rest of us, because what happens if a certain person dies, or a certain person has to step down? You know, everybody's got to know how to do everything. So, anyway, but we're getting there. We're going to get there. Bound and determined, with the grace of God, we'll get there. So, anyway, thank you.
Sharon, on this food truck 4 times a year, is that the one that goes to the fire hall?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's $500, and they really pack that truck. And so, and then everything that's left over goes to the food bank. So, yeah. That's a great help to keep people going, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, is there anything else? Okay.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you for your time.
Any other items from the floor?
Yes, sir. Mayor, council, back to Deer Creek days.
Your name.
I'm Bob Nunn.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Who's responsible for the PA system during the parade?
I don't know which PA system that the committee got. I have no idea.
My question is,
It's up to the Deer Creek Days Committee.
well, maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree. But my point is, the Star Spangled Banner is played at the intersection. And I heard at coffee this morning, the coffee group that I go to every Monday, people on that end couldn't hear it. So my question is, the technology we have nowadays, they could set the speakers all up and down that street. So when the Star Spangled Banner plays, they can hear it. They can't even hear when the,
I don't know what they used this year at all for, it was probably a small one. The
I need to get a hold of
town
Chris.
has purchased one, but one for out south that's mobile that's been going to be, did it get used over the weekend out there or not?
No, sir.
We do have a new system that,
use?
Hmm?
What they use?
They have somebody that has a sound system that brought it in. We haven't been able to get in there and trench yet. It's been too muddy. You gotta run conduit from pole to pole underneath the arena.
yeah, but you can do this stuff wireless.
Yeah.
That's my point. You don't have to run cable. Maybe that's something I need to talk to Christie Grant about, huh?
well, that and, you know, the cost of one of those systems, depending on the size, you know, the system used to be set up down there, there was speakers up and down 4th Street that were tied into an old system a long time ago that finally died, went by the wayside, but,
It's just a suggestion.
you know, it's done by the Deer Creek Days Committee and the chamber. The town was here to what we're supposed to do is be supporting them. So we weren't running this at all. We just supported what was happening.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Anything else? Not, we'll move on to new business. It's ordinance number 711, an ordinance appropriating money of the town of Glen Rock, Converse County, Wyoming, for the purposes of necessary to conduct the municipal government for the fiscal year commencing July 1, 2019 and ending June 30th, 2020. For third and final reading, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we carry through with ordinance number 711, appropriating money for the town of Glen Rock.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded, is there any discussion? Being no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
We have a budget?
We have a new budget.
Good.
Our treasurer will be really happy with us next week to be able to start, keep paying bills. Next item is a 24-hour malt beverage permit for the Converse County Library. And it doesn't look like they showed up. I can tell you that they're having a, what is it, a blues and brews and barbecue at the end of July. And they came in at the last minute. We did, we've been telling them, everybody for the last 2 years, that needs to be done 30 days in advance. But we looked at what we had out there on the information on the website. We did not have the 30 days in advance written down. That's out to the public, so
We're gonna fix that?
that's going to be changed, yes. Tammy was going to take care of that. So is there a motion for this
Mr.
application?
Mayor, I have a question on this application.
Well-
Is this for a fundraiser, or is this just for a private group?
I think we have to really, before we have discussion, we have to have a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
sorry.
So is there a motion for this malt beverage catering?
I move that we approve this application.
Okay, Margaret has moved it. Anybody second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Now we can discuss it.
Now, is this for a fundraiser, or is this for a private money-making thing?
I think this is it's been done at least one other time that I know of it's always been done by the library board and our library. It was done last year, I know for sure, and I think it was done the year before, I believe, at least 2 times. It's been it isn't like this is something new and they come in and they go, oh, we know we're supposed to be here 30 days in advance, but we haven't got our act together. But that's what it's for. I believe it is a fundraiser, so. But it's done by the library. It's not done by any private bunch or other committee or anything.
Is there any way, when we get these applications, that there could be somewhere stated on here, like, purpose for wanting a permit?
I believe that could probably be changed or be asked of them when they
Would
apply for it, yes.
Interesting to know.
Because Tammy was supposed to do it, and I know last week, like on Thursday or
Thursday,
Friday.
I think it was.
Thursday, we got the Jason Knapp from Cowboy State Brewing emailed it in that day, and I think Tammy had him do it since he's the liquor license at that time, but they should have done it 30 days in advance. But we are changing it. That's out on the website that they do have to do this 30 days in advance. So, but it was not there. I can tell you that because I had Tammy look. Any other discussion? If not, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay.
Nay, if they didn't follow the rules, they shouldn't get the permit.
Motion carries. Moving on. Is there a motion for bills and claims?
I'll make a motion that we pay our bills.
Been a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
There is a bill in there for Roy for mileage reimbursement to WAM, and also yours for the
Yes.
repairs, so
I will,
you're aware.
yeah, I will, I only vote normally for a tiebreaker, and I will abstain from the vote, so.
I can't vote.
You can vote, yeah, that's not a problem. So, there's been a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Is there anything else to come before the meeting this evening that we've missed? If not, I'll call for a motion for adjournment.
I move we adjourn this meeting.
And a motion,
Before you adjourn, I forgot to thank you, Michelle, for the grant program.
thank you. Okay, there's been a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Thank you. think she's gonna have us sign those minutes